Hey guys, it's Tucker with Adventures with Tuck. Now I'm here with Chris Gray over at Rocky Mountain OffGrid here in beautiful Erie, Colorado. Chris is going to walk us through some of the solar stuff that we've got going on our trailer and explain somewhat about what solar does, since not a lot of people know what we do. He's an expert at it though.
Yeah, we found a lot of people don't know a whole lot about solar and what the options are out there, but it's amazing once you're able to harness the sun's power, take it, use it in your camper. You guys can get off grid and camp kind of like you guys do, where you go boondock up in the BLM lands and everywhere you guys go, and you don't need to worry about running a generator. It's completely silent and you don't have to make noise or have hookups, which you can find surprisingly gets rather costly, doesn't it?
Yes sir. Minimum $20 a night a lot of places, if not more.
Yeah, so what we've done with Tucker's rig here is we've put 4 solar panels up on the roof, and that'll give them plenty of power for everything they do. They'll be able to run the microwave and everything and still not have to worry about having hookups or running the generator.
So what panels do we put on our rig, wattage and everything?
So we worked with Matt over at Future Sales, and he is able to get you guys their 4 265 watt panels, which is pretty cool. They're plenty of power for what you guys need. We've wired them all the way down here into our main compartment. Thanks to Matt for helping us out and getting you guys those panels. I'm sure it's going to be tons of power for what you guys need to do, and still not have to worry about, is my battery going to make it every night? We've got enough solar up there that you guys are going to be set and safe and not have to worry about your refrigerator dying or waking up too cold without having the furnace running, because that seems to be a common problem.
Yeah, the refrigerator is the most common one for me. So.
Yeah, and having that big residential fridge is a great feature in a lot of these campers, but the downside is what a lot of people don't see is the power consumptions. And so we're able to take that power draw, and between the solar and the battery bank that you guys now have, you guys won't ever have to worry about that again.
I know we installed Battleborns back there. Why do you recommend Battleborns and actually sell those?
We've used Battleborns, and we've been a Battleborn dealer for quite a while, and we've never had a single problem with them. Every customer that we've had use the Battleborns, or even customers that choose to buy them and retrofit them into their projects, have always had 100% satisfaction. Battleborn's done a really great thing with lithiums in that it's a very stable battery. It's 100% safe. You don't have to worry about it or think about it, which was a common misconception among lithium batteries in the RV world. Battleborn's done a really good job developing a management system that will automatically shut the battery down if it's too cold or too hot or out of power, which are all kind of the things that cause lithiums to get in a dangerous state. So when a lot of people talk lithiums, a lot of people think of phones blowing up, and that's always a concern because this is your guys' house. Yeah. And that's definitely not something we want to have you guys worry about or think about. So Battleborns are by far the safest lithium battery that we use and we trust. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but we've used Battleborns for long enough. We trust them, and we use them in our own personal campers. So we know that you guys will have just as much good luck and safe travels with them.
So how long do Battleborns usually last compared to the typical wet cell batteries that come in most RVs?
So typically an interstate or a Deca wet cell battery has about a 60 amp hour lifespan into it. And the tricky part is with lead acid batteries and wet batteries, you don't want to drain them 100% because it damages the batteries. So we try, and the kind of rule of thumb with lead acids is 50% of your total consumption. So now you're left with a 30 amp hour battery. And as you add them up, you can get 30, 60, 120 amp hours. But with Battleborns and lithiums, the way they've designed them, they're 100 amp hour for each battery. So, and that is 100% usable. We don't have to stop at 50%. We can use the battery all the way down for the whole true 100 amp hours. And with you guys, we've done 4 Battleborns. So that would give you guys 400 amp hours of usable power that if you're having a rainy day, you don't have to worry about, will my fridge die in the morning, because you guys have plenty of batteries in there.
Yeah. Again, the residential fridge.
Yeah.
Chris, what all extra components did it take to get our rig up and going inside back here?
So what we did with your guys' rig is we have all of our solar controllers on the left here, along with the appropriate disconnects. One thing a lot of people we've noticed tend to overthink is being able to disconnect the sun. When working on them and servicing on them, as a mechanic myself, you know, I'm always worried about arcing and sparking. So we wanted to make sure we got all the disconnects in our panel here. We do have the Victron BMV 712, and what that does is that allows you guys to always see how full your battery is. You can log in on your phone and you can see the percentages of how much battery percentage we have left. That way you guys know if you need to charge your batteries before you go to bed, if you want to run the generator, say it's been sunny, or not sunny, I'm sorry. Say it's been cloudy for a week or so and your guys' batteries are running low, that BMV will tell you exactly how much percentage is left in the battery, so you know at any given point in time.
Yeah, so what Chris has installed, actually there's an app, and it's the Victron app. And so it's got the BMV here and our solar controllers, and then something else called a Venus on ours as well. What does the Venus and those solar controllers do?
The solar controllers take the power coming in from the sun and regulate it down so it's safe for the batteries. They monitor how much power needs to go into the batteries and how much power you guys are using. So that's what those guys do. We touched briefly on the BMV. The last device we have in here is what's called the Venus GX. And a lot of people haven't seen that one, but what it does, and I'll see if I can pull it up on my phone here, it allows you guys to see a snapshot of your entire Victron system anywhere you're at. So if you're in the camper, you guys can log in and see how much battery percentage, you can see your solar coming in and how much power the inverters are using. But if you guys are out of town and you have it connected to the internet, you can actually log in from wherever you're at and see, hey, do we need to call our parents and have them plug the camper in or anything like that, because you guys are always able to see it, which is a pretty cool feature that we've gotten put into your guys' system here.
Well, and then like troubleshooting, I can connect it to internet and you can log on to it and troubleshoot stuff too.
Exactly. It's a pretty cool tool for us. It's without too much, we can get in there and see, hey, say you guys are up in Montana and you got something going on. We can look at it, say, hey, everything does look right, and work with you guys as far as the troubleshooting, because it is kind of hard to go to any service center and say, look at my electronics when we've got a setup like this. And while we do try and make it as serviceable as possible, we have found ourselves quite often working with the owners as well as with other repair shops is to help them diagnose an electrical issue.
So what makes Rocky Mountain Off-Grid unique in the installs that y'all do?
Every install we do is a little bit different. We try and take what your guys' needs are and how we can make that best work for you guys. I know one of your main concerns was storage space.
Yeah.
In the situation where you guys are in, you live on the road, everything you have is in this trailer. So storage was the big one. And what we wanted to do is, I don't know if you can quite tell, but we've taken out the wall that used to be in the back of this pass-through compartment here, and we've rearranged all the wiring in the back. And once we were able to do that, we left ourselves enough room that we can put all of our components tucked back behind that wall, so you guys don't have to worry and you still keep your full pass-through. One really cool thing that we're able to do with our shop is we're able to CNC cut a lot of parts. So our solar panels and our solar controller panels, we were able to design them on the computer based off of what you guys have for space, and then we can wire them all and put them in pretty quickly and easily. And it allows us to install them, as well as we can bench test them and make sure everything's working before we put them in your guys' rigs.
Yeah. So every rig is kind of unique the way the basement's designed.
It is, and we do have some kind of generic versions for say, where we give in a certain dimension. Let's say you were able to measure a space where you knew where you wanted that stuff to go. We can design, cut, and ship a panel for you guys that has everything already loaded on there and programmed, which makes the install for many dealers a lot easier. And I think that's one thing that really makes people nervous about doing these solar installs, is that the complexity and the components is what the techs aren't quite 100% familiar with. So by getting a panel that's pre-built, they're able to put that right in there, hook all the wires that are labeled up, and not have to worry so much about what wire goes where, because they're all going to be labeled. And I think one other thing that you guys can't see at all is we actually tucked all 4 of their Battleborns back behind the inverter panel. So that saved us all of our room here, and we were able to completely clear out their front compartment so you have a place to put your barbecue.
And dog food.
And dog food, yep.
Yeah, I see the Magnum inverter that came from Keystone's actually moved too. Where did we put that?
Yep,
Same
so
board?
we did. We moved that back on this side. One of the reasons we did that is we want to keep our cable lengths shorter. So by moving the batteries, we like to keep everything close to them. The shorter the cables, the more efficient we can be, and we don't have a voltage drop over them.
Yeah.
And again, storage. So that Magnum inverter is not a small inverter, and it was taking up quite a bit of room right in the middle of your guys' wall here. So now you have freed up your wall for other things if you want to hang fishing poles or, you know, more barrels and stuff like that up on the side there.
Yeah, the way my layout was, I couldn't stack a barrel on top, but now I'll be able to. So.
Yep, and it gives you a lot more options there too. And then next to your Magnum inverter, we have the Victron Multi-Plus. And we really like the Multi-Pluses. We've had great luck with them. They're a great product overall. The Multi-Pluses are an inverter charger. So with the new lithium batteries, we do like to have different charging voltages from a traditional lead acid. So that the Victrons are fully programmable. It allows us to put the parameters for your guys' batteries in there. So that way we're always getting a full charge out of them. One other really cool feature of the Multi-Plus is it's a hybrid inverter. So I know you guys have that little Honda generator. While you guys are using the Honda, since we put the soft start capacitors in both of the Coleman Mach 15 units, you guys can run the air conditioners with that little Honda generator. So I think that after these past few weeks might be something that's a little higher on your guys' list than when we started.
Yeah, the 101 degrees is definitely makes it an oven in there.
Yeah, it's been a hot few weeks for sure, and I'm sure you guys are going to be glad to get up north a little bit further.
So Chris, what all can we run off of the 4 batteries and the 4 panels and the inverters and controllers that we have down there?
So we have your guys' rig set up where you can run everything in the camper except for the fireplace, water heater, and the second air conditioner strictly off the batteries. And you've got plenty of power in there. The air conditioners you won't be able to run for a very long period of time, but given a really sunny day, your panels will bring in enough power to offset a good bit of that. So say you want to run the air conditioner for the heat of the day, and as the heat tapers off, we kind of monitor where the batteries are at so that you guys can end up with a full charge before going to bed. So that's one great thing about the Multi-Pluses is they do have enough power. And the other thing that made that key is having the soft start capacitors in the air conditioners.
Since the recording of this video, we've actually added 4 more solar panels to the top of our RV and have upgraded our solar setup. To view our complete solar setup, visit us on the blog at www.adventureswithtucknade.com. A huge thank you to Chris from Rocky Mountain OffGrid for doing this video with us. Please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys.